It has come to my attention that there is some confusion out there. And as your favorite dietitian,
I can't have that.
I can't have you guys stressing out about these food myths. So today we will be debunking some myths and talking about lies that you might have been told. And watch till the end for the code word. Bread. Really wish we can stop this myth about just like bread is just inherently bad for you. And like if I cut out bread, then I'm just healthier.
Like, nobody should be eating bread when we have lettuce. Get over yourself.
I think that myth needs to go far, far away. Away. Now, there are certain medical conditions, okay, like celiac disease, or if, those with gluten intolerances that simply cannot tolerate bread and other gluten-containing products because it's going to create that inflammation in the intestines and it can cause all sorts of problems for some people. But that doesn't mean
Bread is bad for everybody and everybody needs to stop eating it.
that is just not true. There might also be other groups of people, like those with diabetes, who might have to regulate the amount of bread or other carb-containing products and, pair it with a protein, eat it in moderation. But that still doesn't mean that this is bad for you. And I have a problem with us also categorizing food as good and bad, but that's a whole nother video. I don't know about you guys, but like I like bread, okay? It provides some variety. Shouldn't we aim for our meals to be both nutritious and delicious? What is the fun in life if we are just like eating food for their nutritional value? I mean, if that brings you joy, go ahead. So for me personally, when I'm trying to choose a bread, I try to aim for ones that are less than like 3 grams or so of added sugar per slice. And of course, like moderation plays a role here too, right? It's probably not the best idea to consume 10 to 20 slices of bread or like have your whole day be about bread and pasta and cereals and all of these like carbohydrate foods, because that's displacing other foods. That's displacing the fruits and the vegetables and all of these other nutritious foods. My thought is if we're consuming like breads and stuff and pasta in moderation, like a palm size amount, we're making the veggies the star of the show, we're having some lean proteins in there, then that is perfectly fine. I'm all for making sure that you're not feeling deprived or feeling like you have to completely cut out food groups to be healthy. The second food myth / food lie is about soy. We'll hear things like,
to poison you? Tofu equals soy equals breast cancer. Everyone knows that. You need to throw out that toxic poison right away. I mean, whoever even sent that to you is literally trying to poison you.
Some of the confusion about soy, I think, comes from the fact that when you look at the research about soy, there's so many different studies that show so many, like using different forms of soy. Like some of them study soy supplements. Some of them study soy supplements on people who are taking thyroid medication. Some of them study like whole soy foods like tofu and edamame. And at the end of the day, the biggest takeaway, whole soy foods actually have research has shown either a neutral or a beneficial effect. Things like tofu, edamame, and soy milk. Soy protein is actually a complete protein. Unlike a lot of other plant-based proteins, they contain all of the 9 essential amino acids. They also are a good source of fiber. Things like edamame are not only a good source of protein, but also have plenty of fiber. And based on all of the research that I've done and that I've even like explained in this video here that you can check out, the only concern I have is with the soy supplements. What about all the benefits that soy proteins provide? Okay, B vitamins, magnesium, protein. But you know what? I know a lot of men are afraid to eat soy because of some of the hoopla about soy causing feminizing effects in men or increasing their estrogen and decreasing their testosterone. So a lot of men out there are afraid of consuming like tofu. This study was a meta-analysis that took a bunch of, and guys, meta-analysis is like top tier, okay? It took a bunch of studies before 2021 and looked at the effect of soy and soy isoflavones
I never know if I'm pronouncing that right.
on men specifically. And this study found that there was actually no effect on testosterone or estrogen in men, whether they were consuming tofu and like whole soy products or even like soy supplements. Whole soy foods are better probably than more so their processed protein counterparts. Like I would rather people consume more whole soy foods like tofu, soy milk, tempeh, edamame. I feel like with the research when it comes to like the actual supplements, protein bars, protein powders that contain soy isoflavones or soy protein isolate, maybe we need to be a little bit more skeptical there, a little bit more wary. But when it comes to actually whole food soy products, I would not worry about it. Now, talk to your doctor because some people are on thyroid medications and that can actually interact with soy foods if taken like close to the dose. Again, this video is not a substitute for medical advice, okay? Like I always say, talk to your doctor if you're on a specific medication because things that you eat can affect your absorption of certain medication. So always double check with your doctor or dietitian. You know, you can come see me, but I hope debunking this myth helps you. Number 3. Are we on number 3? Yeah, number 3, I think. Are we on number 3? Agave. Okay. Agave is one of these foods that has cropped up as like,
Ooh,
it's like natural, so it must be like good for us, right? It must be better for us than regular sugar for some reason. But have we really questioned why, or is it just marketing? Okay, it's just marketing. Per serving, which is per tablespoon, agave has about 60 calories and 16 grams of sugar. Per tablespoon, regular sugar has about 48 calories and 13 grams of sugar. But outside of that, does agave have more nutrients, vitamins, minerals? Is it somehow healthier for us because it comes from the agave plant?
sorry to say, or not sorry to say.
It's like the same thing. There might be a tiny smidge bit of what iron in there, but it's really like not even a lot. I talk more about the nutrition facts and everything in this video on sugars. It was actually one of the first videos I've ever done in my life here on YouTube. But agave doesn't have a significant amount of more nutrients or anything than regular sugar. It's not in any way better for us to consume agave than regular sugar. It's still considered an added sugar that we want to limit as much as realistically, as much as we possibly can. Again, anything that I say when it comes to like, oh, this is like nutritious or this is not so nutritious, it's not about being perfect. Don't always trust the marketing of a product and the front of the label. Labels, like the front of the label can fool us. It's all about the nutrition facts on the back, okay? Does that rhyme? It's all about the nutrition facts on the back. Artificial sweeteners, non-nutritive sweeteners, or as some people like to call them, fake sugars.
They're sweet and low.
If you're the type of person who eats fake sugars, I never want to see your face again.
Raise your hand if you've ever felt personally victimized by Judge Mita. And raise your second hand if you already know my thoughts on this. I definitely want to ease anxieties and stresses and the fear mongering around it because it pains me when you guys are stressed. It pains me when my patients are stressed. If having artificial or non-nutritive sweeteners in moderation, diet drinks in moderation, 0-calorie Gatorade and 0-calorie beverages that are sweetened with stevia or monk fruit or Splenda or aspartame in moderation, if that helps my patient get off of sugar sweetened beverages like regular soda, sugary Gatorades, and other drinks that contain quite a bit of added sugars, it's worth it for their health. And I know this day and age, it's like we have information overload. It's like you hear one thing from you hear one thing from the media, you hear one thing from dietitians, you hear one thing from influencers who might not have a formal degree or education in nutrition. And some people just don't know what to believe because it's just like so much out there, information overload. At the end of the day, it's up to you whether you consume them or not, but I will not support the fear mongering and the misinformation that's spread about it. And if you guys want to hear more about the research, the evidence, me talking more about like certain studies, I have a whole playlist here that I'm always linking. I feel like I talk about this so much. Let me know in the comments if you're tired of me talking about this, but I just see it as constantly something that's brought up to me as a dietitian in practice, and I just want to make sure that you guys have the right information. The last and final one, eat your broccoli to get protein. Broccoli is about 1 gram of protein per half cup. So for every half cup of broccoli, you're getting a measly 1 gram of protein. You would have to eat 10 cups of broccoli to get 20 grams of protein. Who's out here eating 10 cups of broccoli? Because not me. Now, if you would like to do that, I wish you well. Probably don't sit next to me on a plane. The richest sources of protein are going to be things like lean meat, dairy products like Greek yogurt, and then of course the plant-based proteins. You know, plant-based proteins have my heart. Tofu, edamame, beans, lentils, but not broccoli, okay? And it's very misleading to say, oh,
I got broccoli in this meal, so I got my protein. I got mushrooms in this meal. Mushrooms are a protein.
no. I one time went to this restaurant. They had a list of protein. They were like, the meat, you could either choose meat or you could choose avocado for protein. This is quite misleading, actually. People are coming in here and like, oh yeah, protein, avocado, and it's actually, avocado is not a protein. I have a whole video on avocado not being a protein if you're interested. If you have watched up until this point, please type the word unicorn. The code word is unicorn in the comments. You can either put an emoji of a unicorn or you can type out the word unicorn to signify that you have made it and that you are a good student. Because if you don't do that, then clearly, you know, you're going to fail my class, and who wants that? You want to fail my class? Yes, I know you do. I see you in the back there. Were you taking notes? But I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned for a new video. You know what? Why don't you also, while you're at the unicorn situation, let me know in the comments, your comments. Unicorn.